on this episode of More Than a Creator.
From Atlanta, born and raised, but you want to be very intentional when you're doing these things because you don't know who's watching. We're down south. Everybody in my family knows how to cook.
What's really been helping you keep those relationships?
Are you available at 3 p.m.? So I'm like throwing all my stuff in the bag. It's 12 p.m. I'm hopping on the train. I'm like, I got to go.
All right, y'all. So we back for another episode of More Than a Creator. Today I have Alexis Simon hopping on with us. We're going to give her a few minutes so she can hop on. But she is a model. She will be walking in a fashion and polo coming up. She was a New York Fashion Week model. We'll be going over her experience. She partnered with Cream of Nature, my girls in particular. I know y'all know who that is. Get your edges right. Cream of Nature, yes. And she also did a little work with DSW Shoes. She was featured on their website. And your girl is a chef. Now, I'm doing too much talking. I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself. Perfect. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm great. Now that I'm on with you. Girl, I talked to them a little bit about you, but go ahead and introduce yourself. I probably forgot some stuff.
Well, my name is Alexis. I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised, and I'm just out here hustling every single day. So I've been modeling for 6 to 7 years now.
Wow.
I went to culinary school and I got my BA in food service management and culinary arts. And eventually that is my goal too. Right now I'm in school for cybersecurity, so I wanted to pick up on new skills and eventually pay for a food truck. So I'm just working, and then when I'm not working, I'm working.
Nice. Okay. So is modeling your passion or is culinary arts?
I would say both, but honestly, I think what I've been doing now is just taking the clients that I have and eventually just shifting them over to, when I start a food truck, which, will be very helpful because I've made a lot of genuine connections in this industry and I want to keep them.
What type of food truck do you plan on having?
It's a secret. I want to keep it, a little discreet, but it will be something catered towards all audiences.
Okay, and did modeling come first or your passion for food?
Yeah, so actually my aunt had a catering business of her own, and so that's how I got introduced to it. So I was helping them with weddings and just little events like that, and then I started modeling around 18 when I went off to college. So I've been kind of doing both, balancing both at the same time.
Nice. So is culinary arts in your family? I know you said your aunt, she had a catering business.
Yeah, so we're down south. Everybody in my family knows how to cook, so I just kind of took those influences and kind of made my own lane with it too.
Oh, okay, nice. So what led you to modeling?
I would say I think an agent approached me in Atlanta and was like, "Do you model?" I was like, no. So me and my mom went for a meeting, and we did our first photo shoot, but honestly, I was on my way off to college, so I couldn't handle both at the same time. But then I was like, what, I can when I was in Charlotte. So I feel like I really started modeling in Charlotte. So yeah, I started taking influence, advice from different model coaches out there, and I just started to create my own lane.
Are you from Charlotte?
I'm from Atlanta, born and raised. Yes.
Okay, where did Charlotte come from?
I went to culinary school. I went to Johnson & Wales University, Charlotte, and it's technically a business school, but they're really known for their culinary arts program. So they have 4 campuses, one in Charlotte, Miami, Denver, and Rhode Island. So I chose the Charlotte campus just because it's closer to home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you notice a difference in like models in Charlotte than the models in Atlanta?
I would say that in Atlanta, they're somewhat of a little bit more polished, but since my trip to New York, I've noticed the difference between all 3. Really, in New York, I feel like those are the really, really polished ones. When you come down to Atlanta, you do have like a lot of video vixens.
Right.
We do have a lot of hair campaigns. We're known for the hair and makeup, so you'll see a lot of that down there. In Charlotte, just it's not really more of a fashion city, but they do kind of have their own lane. They're a growing city too. So I guess we'll just have to see over the years to come.
Yeah, definitely. So you talked a little bit about New York Fashion Week. We got to dive into that. How was your experience out there?
It was amazing. Honestly, it was one of those things. It was almost like a testimony because we came out there, we went to our first show, and just when you're doing fashion shows, they're very disorganized.
Oh yeah.
So, everybody's running around, you might get pulled from a scene, stuff like that happens. And just the second show that we did really just oh my gosh, I gotta tell you about, okay, so I actually did 3 shows while I was out there, but the second show I went to a casting, and I guess they just didn't respond. The lady said she lost my comp card, and then like a day later before the show, or the day of the show, sorry, she was like, hey, I lost your comp card, but I would love for you to come model for me. Are you available at 3 p.m.? So I'm like throwing all my stuff in the bag. It's 12 p.m. I'm hopping on the train. I'm like, I got to go. I got to go. So I get to the location, and I walk, and everything turned out amazing. The entire experience, the food, we got Junior's cheesecake. We went to Lombardi's Pizza. I made a YouTube video. Well, I'm making a YouTube video. So it's coming, but I just overall enjoyed my experience. I connected with so many cool people, and they want me back. So I'm gonna be coming up there every February and every September from now on.
All right.
Yeah.
And you went out there in February?
No, I went out there recently in September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you. So talk to me about your experience with modeling, like the different designers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so when you're modeling for different designers, you definitely want to make sure that your hygiene is okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't want to mess up. And then too, you want to make sure that you're very professional too. That's the key important thing, because that's how they're going to decide if they want to have you back. And I feel like a lot of models in this industry don't really care about making genuine connections. They just care about walking for the brand. And so you can walk for the brand one time, that's fine. But I think it would be amazing to be able to build a relationship with this designer so they can call you in for a shoot or something, a paid shoot. And that's, the type of things you look for. You don't want to be an opportunist at all. That's not what I'm saying. But you do just want to be able to represent their brand to the best of your ability and promote their clothes too, because that's what it's about too. They want to push their product out. You are the model, but the product, that's what's important.
Absolutely. And what was your goal going into New York Fashion Week?
I wanted to model for as many shows as possible and to make as many connections. Honestly, my goal right now with modeling is to do more brand campaigns. So with the Cream of Nature one, that was my first one, but I do see more of that coming just because I want to focus on my skincare brands and hair, makeup, stuff like that, because that's really, I feel like, my avenue.
I think with the Cream of Nature one, because I did see on your page, it ended up transferring over into your passion with cooking as well. So can you explain how that worked out?
So they know that I cook, and again, I built a very good relationship with them. They're always sending me stuff, but they sent me a couple products. They basically said, we want to have a collab where you kind of introduce new ways to create a healthy living. So, they had like an acai product, and what else did they have? No, it wasn't pomegranate. It was like 2 other fruits. And so I basically tried to just combine, just cook up something. Avocado. It was avocado. I wanted to cook up something that was kind of similar and just promoted healthy living on their page. And I enjoyed that. I thought that was just so cute and fun and enjoyable. And they enjoyed it too.
And what did you just put like a video together for their page? Yeah,
so I hopped on their Instagram live and I made an acai bowl with bananas. It was banana, acai, and avocado. So I kind of just implemented them all into that one live and just created just my own little creations. But I can't wait for the next one,
Yeah, awesome. And then how did the DSW shoes come about? The feature on their site?
So when you're doing photo shoots, you want to be very intentional, because you can decide if this photo wants to be submitted to Vogue, if that's a possibility, or other magazine submissions. So that was the first magazine that I submitted it to. And I said, if I don't get Vogue, I'm going to start submitting it to other magazines or just tagging just to see if my photo can get put on a website or something, because this was just too beautiful of a shot to not be put anywhere. Like, come on now. So DSW commented and was just like, oh my gosh, like, can we repost? I was like, yes, you may repost and put me on your website. So, and honestly, it's just, I won't say it's just that easy, but you want to be very intentional when you're doing these things, because you don't know who's watching, and your work can be, taken to the next level. You just have to have faith and, again, be very intentional about what you like. Everything matters. Everything, every detail matters. I'm a very detailed person with these shoots. So every shoot that I'll be doing from this point forward is not just to do a shoot. I actually want my work to be submitted and, sent off to different brands that I can maybe work with.
Now, I post on my page things to help individuals that are looking to get into the industry, whether that be modeling, television hosting, anything like that. What are some things that you put inside of your model bag when you go like auditions or when you're doing a runway or even a print shoot?
Deodorant. Deodorant, baby oil. I have my own makeup kit. So I got my NARS, cosmetics, just foundation, lip gloss. I kind of just do something simple like this, just a very simple basic look, because you don't really know what the designer is looking for. And when you get there, they'll either tell you to take it off or try something new. I always have an eyeshadow palette, my brushes. You always want to keep a black bra and black undergarments, nude bra, nude undergarments, because again, you don't know what the designer is looking for. You want to be over prepared. You want to have a pair of black shoes. You want to have a pair of nude shoes. You want to have a black tank top and a pair of black leggings or black shorts. And if let's just say that you are going to a fashion show, most likely there's going to be an after party. So you want to bring like a cute dress or just something that you can, because you don't want to just be wearing pants and a shirt at a party. You want to look nice and be able to, and keep comp cards with you or headshots. Keep those in your bag, because all you got to do is just be like, hi, my name is so-and-so. This is what I do. You can follow me on Instagram. So a charger. A book, maybe. I'm in school right now, so I take my homework everywhere I go. When I was in New York, girl, every single morning I was up before we were taking off into the city. I was just on my laptop just doing homework. So you definitely want to keep yourself occupied too.
And I saw your comp card on your page as well. Y'all make sure y'all follow her and go look at her page. Her comp card is beautiful. So for those that do not know, can you explain what a comp card is and the reason for having a comp card?
That's kind of like your portfolio and resume. They need to be able to see your angles, different size to you, your full body. They need to know your measurements, because the designers need to know what type of clothes they want to put you in. So that's your face card. And then you want to have your phone number and everything attached to that. So it's like, okay, I remember this model. Let me go ahead and contact her. Let me go ahead and email her. So it's very important to have a comp card. You will not be taken seriously unless you have a comp card or some form of a beautiful headshot,
And what have you found that works for you? Because I know you talked about keeping those long-lasting relationships and building close relationships as opposed to just wearing a t-shirt or something that you're done. What's really been helping you keep those relationships and making you stick out?
One thing that I will say is in New York, it's very stressful. And I've been practicing this thing to where I say, how are you doing today? Because a lot of people don't get that, or we don't ask each other, how are you today?
Right.
Because we're just so focused on moving. And when you just take a second to just be polite, like, do you need help? Or can I help you with something? That goes a long way. You want to be very generous in spaces like those, because the designer is already stressed out. She's irritated because just there's so many factors going on. So you want to make yourself stand out, but also just be like, I'm here in the moment. I am listening to you. Oh, and also before you go on stage to walk the runway, you're going to practice with a model coach or a coordinator. So when that model coach or coordinator says, get in line, you get in line. You listen, you don't pander around, you don't just walk around talking to people. Get in line, because they are watching you, and they're most likely going to say, no, I don't want her back because she wasn't listening when I told her to get in line. Like, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to everything around you. You're listening for key terms, just whatever it is that they're talking about. And you also want to practice your walk too, because that's what they're ultimately paying attention to, like how good she walks. I'm short. I'm a petite model, so I have to work twice as hard.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Okay.
So, just runway, it's fun. Eventually, I do want to get into more print work, but when I am doing runway, I have to make sure that I'm making a great impression at all times.
How have you been avoiding scams? I know at my most recent workshop, really a lot of the times we just talk about scams altogether, because definitely in Atlanta is huge, and all over like New York, California, it's just big. Any industry, honestly, but in particular the modeling industry with women and trafficking. How do you avoid scams? What type of things do you look for?
I ask around because this industry is small, it's smaller than you think. So people know people, and you want to do your research. Go on YouTube, do your research. You want to ask questions too. You don't, I mean, you can't press people if you feel like it's a opportunity. Like, just, you want as many details as possible. Do not be afraid to ask questions and to ask. Just ask people around you, do your research. Do not send any money off to anyone unless, this is a photographer that you've worked with and he needs a deposit down.
Yeah.
Unless it's one of those situations that you're comfortable with, but just be very cognizant and, use your discernment. Be very careful, because Atlanta, like you said, it's known for trafficking, and I've ran into many situations where people have tried to scam me, but luckily I've gotten advice from my friends and other people in the industry, like, no, this is not what you're supposed to do. And also too, we do have a group chat. Me and my close model friends will sometimes send each other just stuff like, hey, is this a scam? Is this a scam? And somebody will be like, no, this is a scam. Don't do that. Don't do that. So that's why I say you want to make genuine connections, because you might not know that something's a scam. You want to build friendships within this industry, because that could be helpful along the way.
Yeah, I completely agree. I did see you posted on your story the fashion and polo.
Yes.
So will you be modeling in that, or was this kind of like a manifestation thing? What's that about?
It's just certain designers that you wanted to walk for and you auditioned for and you got rejected. And it's like 2-3 years later you try again and you make your way into that door. And that was just so amazing. So I believe we're walking on both days. So it's I do not know exactly which hotel it's going to be at, but apparently this event is going to be huge.
Wow.
I'm excited. There's going to be press there, so I'm just making sure I eat all my salads first and toxin before this, because this is important. I got to make sure I'm good for this one.
And why is it important? Tell me why it's important to you.
It's more things that you can add to your resume, and again, you never know who's going to be there. And I actually just got with an agent, so she's going to be helping me maneuver around the industry a lot more with higher paid gigs, and I'm happy about that. So, I'm just excited about where this whole year is about to go for me.
Yeah, you elevating your career. That's definitely something to be excited about. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years with modeling?
More brand campaigns, commercials. I would love to get into acting. I already got my acting headshots. But, with the writer's strike right now, is a big deal. I did get some updated news last night, but I just want the best for myself. I want to get into acting. I want to do commercials, big gigs, MAC Cosmetics maybe.
Okay, cool. And what's the best way for individuals to support you at this moment?
You can follow me on Instagram. I do follow back. I'm not mean or stuck up or anything. Just eventually I do plan on just bringing more to the community, so I'll be out a lot more. So just give me some time. Let me get it together real quick, and that will definitely play out the way that it's supposed to play out.
And your brand, what do you want your brand to represent? What's the message that you want to convey to others when they look at you?
To be open-minded and to not just disqualify certain opportunities. You always want to be professional too. Professionalism, kindness, making sure that you're on your P's and Q's, you're hardworking, and you take some time off to be able to enjoy the people around you too. And to travel. I love traveling.
Definitely. Okay, cool. We are going to wrap up the interview, but is there any advice that you have for individuals that want to get into the media industry or even modeling at that?
Yes, so go ahead and get your comp card first. And I honestly would suggest submitting to agencies
Mm,
or trying to get someone by your side, an agent. So it's a lot of great agencies out here. You know, if you think it's a scam, go ahead, do your research on that. Ask the people around you, they'll be able to tell you. You're not supposed to submit any money to agencies, but you do just want to have an approach. You do want to be very tasteful with your shoots too. Be tasteful because a lot of higher brands will see that and say we want to work with her because we like her brand better. She's not too just all over the place. You want to have structure.
good, good, good. Okay, shout out your pages one more time. Do you have a website or anything?
Not
Not yet.
yet, but eventually it's coming. It's coming. But you can follow me on Instagram at it's Lexi Noel. It's ITSLEXINOELLE.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
I am definitely going to message you, and I do look forward to this fashion and polo. So I'm going to look into
Yes.
make sure I see you there. But thank you so much. You have an amazing day. Okay.
Thank you. You too. All right.
All right, y'all, that was another episode of More Than a Creator. Y'all stay tuned. Follow at More Than a Model Workshop, and footage from this interview will be posted. Y'all make sure y'all follow my girl. Follow,
All right.
and keep it for her. All right.
Bye.
For the next episode.
It was so good talking to you.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Bye.